Start with a roll call, Lee Richards.
Yes.
Shane Walker.
Here.
Greg Nivens.
Here.
Randall Boswell.
Here.
Geraldine Walker.
Here.
All present. Need a motion to approve the minutes for the last meeting held May 14th, 2024. Randall made a motion, and second. Shane second, any discussion? No discussion being had. All four say aye. Any opposed likewise? Motion passed. Next on the agenda is approve the budget amendments. General Fund 101, amendment number 10. Solid Waste Fund 116, amendment number 2. Capital Projects Fund 117. I would like to explain this.
We amendment to indicate funds land that we didn't purchase. Solid waste. On the the revenue is received more than what we calculated for. And then on general fund, we two. Relative notes at the bottom. But most everything is just line item changes within each major category. The property assessor's truck is having problems not very much repairs going on that. There's one here again for the county clerk. It's not an additional salary salary, it's just reclassification.
Sorry.
We had a jail lieutenant that was retired, and we had to pay out a lot of comp and annual time and get approved. So it's one of the items in salary related. And then we got an refinance of the next year. Those revenue and expenditures are pretty much.
Any other questions or anything on that?
Yes.
Was that the grant? Is that the grant? What's all this drug court stuff?
That's a federal grant.
Oh, it just made in the
It
grant.
is, and there's, they are on a different schedule, they're just not July to June, so I have to adjust it each year. It's all federal funds, and that's reimbursed. The water project, grant in there, we're starting to put some progress on that. I'll be making payments out to the water utility districts. But the money is,
Switched out, I forgot what it looks like.
yeah, but I'm getting the money ahead of time instead of after, that's unusual. But it's because the development district is how they're administering the grant, so, which is good.
Hearing we have motions set, approved, I'm Geraldine second. Any other questions, discussion? If not, Lee Richards,
Yes.
Shane Walker. Yes. Greg Nivens,
Yes.
Randall Boswell.
Yes.
Geraldine Walker.
Yes.
All right, this part, we come to the old and new business. We have, Roxanne and Judith here tonight to present their budget. I guess we'll look at Roxanne's, and she bought the biggest crowd. We'll let you go first.
Sorry, I was rushing, so I don't really have the budget with me. I can run to my office and get
Can
it.
you go get it for us, and we'll
Yeah.
have Taylor make copies of it? Everybody can review it.
Can't get this thing turned off, I ain't smart enough.
I'm running the peck over there.
Yeah,
Peck still hanging out over there.
that can't never go quit. Thought it went off.
Fargo is an American comedy drama.
I'm too old to have one of them smartphones, I'm not smart enough.
Don't
feel bad.
I had a flip phone forever because I refused to do anything with talking. I watch these kids and I finally figured out what they're doing. They're trying to figure out how to do it.
You get through it, ain't
Yeah.
drag you across the road and
Yeah.
get bowls.
Just pick up the phone and operate, say, number please.
Get mad, you be talking on the telephone all the time.
That's my daddy and me, I'm talking over it.
You got these?
Would you go to settings? Just turn the timer down.
She's like the Mandelbrot sisters. You know, they'd be talking about the pains, it may be on that oil thing, you just don't know the thing.
You're just gonna turn them off.
I was little and I listened.
It's always a little bit worse.
Don't turn everything off, I have to go down to the store and get them girls showed up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure you get the term back down. Yeah.
We saw. They wouldn't just roll on by, you know.
Here's this one, There I got stranded long than you. I just wondered if I was still in there. Got the weed out of there. approve it. You take a vote, right?
Anyway. The spirit runs our size.
Yeah, I got down there.
Yeah, but it's increased. Get us
Coming on all races, with all that leaving.
Put in the letter, I just wanna read that, send it around.
That. Coming on all races.
She moved down there.
I'm passing around a letter, this was a letter that was, mailed to me, sent to me for, over Roxanne. I thought, well, she's going to get her budget notes, because I would bring that letter as well, I told her I would. Let y'all read that. Now, going over this budget, with Roxanne, if you want, kind of walk us through this. If, any changes or anything that you might have.
Well, there ain't much, I feel like changes for anything else except for the, I guess it's the supervisor direct up there at the top. That's, I guess, my pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like to be full-time instead of Monday through Wednesday.
Connie, did you, run that and the numbers of what the pay would be and the social security all fancy?
Yeah.
We'll get the numbers for that. Currently right now. Then we gotta add the social security, the state retirement. Okay, so, get past that part, we'll get that added up pretty much.
And also, I wouldn't have to, I don't know, I mean, this would save a bunch, but I don't actually need the insurance part at all, because I use the VA.
No insurance. That's one, that, I mean, you can opt out of it.
So I was wanting to tell you his numbers, if I could, for year 2022. There was only 60 veterans that was seen that year in the system. So I started in 2023 in July. I graduated, so I started from, I took the numbers, there was 246 veterans seen in last year. And from January to June, there was 60 veterans seen. So from July, from the time I started to December, there was 186 veterans. So more than double. And then for this year so far, I've seen 234 veterans. And I wanted to give you numbers. There's
Is that from January 1 and what?
so it was from when I,
Yeah, you said this year.
oh, this year, yes, sir, from January 1st.
Okay.
It's quite a bit of an increase.
And for Overton County, we have 1.2, the exact, what the thing says is 1,210 veterans in Overton County. And so I was looking to try to help me at some other counties that had the exact same numbers, like Polk. I have like a map here that tells how many. I don't know if you want me to pass this around, but Polk County has the exact same number as us, the 1.2 thousand, and they have 2 full-time employees. And I don't know if you guys know, but Cookville has 3 full-time employees and then 2 state employees at the VA office.
Who you got with you?
This is Michael Glass. He is one of the state VA VSOs, but for the state at the VA in Cookville. And then here's some other numbers I can pass around from the numbers from 2022 and then last year and then this year, the quarterly reports. So I'll pass all these around so you guys can see them. I have a couple people here with me that wanted to speak on my behalf.
I have a letter, you want me to read it?
Yes, he has a letter from the auxiliary secretary that she couldn't make it, and neither could the auxiliary president, Ramona. She's down in her back. And
To who it may concern, hello. I have recently been appointed as secretary for the American Legion Auxiliary Bohannon Post Number 4 in Livingston. Unfortunately, I could not be there in person to speak on Roxanne's behalf. However, I hope that you will accept my comments below in consideration of extending Roxanne's hours to full time. I have had the pleasure of getting to know Roxanne over the past 6 months when she started working very closely with American Legion and the American Legion Auxiliary Bohannon Post Number 4. Roxanne has spent a significant amount of her own time after hours to hold various information sessions at the Legion for our local veterans and their spouses on all the benefits that they may be eligible to receive. Many of the spouses were not fully informed on what they were eligible to receive, and Roxanne has able to guide them through what is available. Enabling Roxanne to become full-time would be a huge benefit to the community, as she will have more time to able to reach more of our veterans and their families. I thank you in advance for your consideration. Jennifer S. Brown.
And I think Shannon would like to speak on a project that I'm working on, or we were working on.
Yeah. Working on together.
Yes.
So this isn't the only reason I'm here. I am a member of the Legion as well as my daughter. And we see a lot of veterans coming into this community, moving in here from all over the United States. And the chamber is typically one of the first places they go. And one of the first questions they always ask is, who's the Veteran Service Director here? Where do I need to go? How do I get in touch with them? And it never fails. They're in the office on a Thursday and Friday, and there's no one in the office. So that has probably happened, I don't know, just this year alone, it's probably happened maybe 5 or 6 times. And last year, I can't even remember, but it is, it's a significant amount. It happens regularly. But on top of that, so far, from what I can tell, Roxanne has done a wonderful job in this position, and I did not realize how many veterans you had seen. That's a huge amount, and that's a lot of your time. But one thing that we have gotten together to do, we've formed a committee. Roxanne and I both are part of this committee. Don Burnett is the chairman of this committee. It's the Hometown Heroes Project. And we're in the process of getting donations from different businesses across town to purchase banners to hang around our downtown square during Memorial Day and Veterans Day every year. Now, these will look very similar to this. And we will have one person on the front and then someone else on the back. And those will stay up 2 weeks, the 2 weeks before and after Memorial Day, and 2 weeks before and after Veterans Day. Now, these are only for our service people who have paid the ultimate price. And we are in the process of putting out some information about it. I'll probably talk about it in the next meeting. We've got some brochures that people can use to sign up their family member if they want their family member to have one of these banners on our square. We are hoping that we get enough donations that we don't have to ask family members to pay to have the banners, and it looks like that's going to work out. So it shouldn't be any cost to the families of those who have lost people in action. Roxanne has volunteered to allow her to be the drop-off point for our, for the money. So people will be coming here to see her to drop that off. So that's just gonna be another, connecting point to her with these, families. So we threw one more thing at you. So I don't know if to apologize or to thank you for doing it. But, and if y'all know anybody that has had a family member killed in action, let them know that we're doing this so they can get a hold of one of us. How did you say it? Did I say it wrong, Ken?
Children Action Overton County Residents.
Overton, thank you. It has to be an Overton County.
It's actually not. Cause he's going over shit World War I, well, he got the flu and they ended up being buried in the sea,
Mm.
so, you know. It has to be,
Well, if he was an Overton County resident, he's still next.
If you
Yeah.
get rid of
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yes, you-
Yeah, 30 minutes.
he just gonna bring it back, because about half his ship was
Right.
buried at sea.
Yeah.
Because the Spanish flu wiped out
Mm-hmm.
World War
World War One.
I. Yeah.
How many banners would that be in total?
Well, you know what? Not 100% sure. We're just gonna see how many people we get and we'll figure it out.
I had mentioned to Ken sometime back about doing banners for veterans, for all the veterans, if somebody wanted to sponsor a veteran, like for Veterans Day,
Yeah.
instead of the.
That's gonna just get really
That would be-
expensive.
Yeah.
That'll get really
We
expensive.
have over 1,200 vets here, so
Yeah,
that would be
so-
a lot.
I don't understand that.
The way that we kind of looked at this is not a city, chamber, or county project. This is something that a group of people got together and decided they wanted to do. So if there is others who want to do a similar project, they're more than welcome to form their own committee and do that for another group. If they want.
I know Albany, Kentucky did that, but
Mm,
they were the veterans I've seen on there were still
yeah,
living.
yeah.
I'd seen it in Lenore City,
Mhm.
all throughout the whole city, and it was awesome.
Right. I've had a lot of people come to me about
You
this.
know, we could bring up at our next meeting, if we wanted to make it a joint effort, if the county wanted to do something like that,
Mhm.
you know.
Sure.
But as of right now, it is just the
Yeah,
KIs.
See, the cost of these banners, if we had 65 to do, it was around $34 with $155 setup fee. If it's just 5 here, 10 there, it might be between 40, 45 a banner, but that's both sides.
Yeah, a different veteran on each side, so
And
that's,
they can
that's
do it
food
within
for
2
that
weeks.
price.
I'll be mentioning it, Memorial Day.
Okay.
So,
You already have some funding for that, Shannon.
Yes, we have, some of the banks have promised us a substantial amount already. We very well may end up having enough to do all of the banners and we won't have to worry about it.
But we will always take donations, because there, you know,
Always.
over time, there will be maintenance that has to be done, we'll have to replace them, you know, what have you, so,
Yeah.
yes.
So if you'd like to donate, you can see.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna let Cece talk, because she'll have to get back to work.
Okay, do you, Mike,
I'm gonna let him go.
Okay. My name is Teresa Jones, and I am a veteran as well. I myself have been to see Roxanne multiple times. Unfortunately, I had several claims that were in the works that I had to go to Cookville before she was able to actually process the claims. But since she's been able to do the whole process, I myself have been in to see her. I have brought other veterans in to see her, spouses in to see her that didn't know, like, you know, like has been said, they didn't know what was available to them. Now, the downside to that is some of them may or may not have transportation. They're limited on the days that they're able to come, doctor's appointments, things like that. So 3 days a week limits a lot of our older veterans as to being able to get in here and see her when they need to see her. And, you know, I don't know if that's gonna make a difference with anything, but, you know, they need the help as much as they can get.
Is timeline critical in some ways?
Yes. Yeah, especially when you're looking at widowers, you know, I mean, they just don't know.
I mean, like, with 2 or 3 days.
It can be.
It can be.
You're talking, a good example is a DIC claim, a widow's claim. At the fastest I can push it through the system is 3 months. So if she's having to wait 3 more days, 4 more days, 5 more days, think of your mom. Hey, mom, sorry, you're gonna have to make it to Cookville, but I don't have time to take you there. Roxanne will be here on Monday, you know, and that's where a lot of the problems are.
And some of the things that she does, like one of the veterans that I brought in here, he draws VA disability, but he was not in the VA system to see a VA, like at the VA clinic in Cookville. And she called and had went through the process of getting him set up for that. That alone, could he had a heart attack. He needed medical care. That, to me, that's urgent. You know, as quickly as we can, get him in under the VA. I mean, he's 100% disability. The VA takes care of all of that. He was paying Cookville Regional Hospital when he really didn't have to, because he didn't know that with his 100% disability that he should be at the VA rather than at Cookville Regional.
It passed the bill where you can pay for other places besides.
Community.
Well,
It's a community,
It's a
but it
lot
has to be-
complicated than that.
It has to be
You-
VA
A good example, you have to be in the system. If you're not in the
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
I mean, did they do back?
No.
3 or 4
No.
days, they went back.
No, you have, what is it, Mike, 3 days
Yeah, you have
to
3
contact the VA if you're hospitalized?
To report if you go to the emergency.
Can I say something? I work at Cookville Regional. Our case managers, when we have a veteran in there, our case managers hook them up with the VA.
But don't they have to tell you that they're a veteran?
Well, they
I mean, he didn't
usually
even
ask.
know.
That's one of the questions they ask when they
Yeah.
come in and do their.
Yeah, he-
Cookville
he-
Regional,
he-
there's some good things and bad things. A lot of times y'all do billing wrong. That makes my job a whole lot harder, but no, there is a lot there,
The case
and you
manager
can.
does. When she comes in and talks to them, she asks. And if they say they're a veteran, then they. probably
Yeah,
can-
he was very confused
Or
when
our,
he came to
in our
me,
case,
you know. And another thing I'm gonna add to that, when you see the number of veterans that Roxanne has seen over the last several months, please keep in mind, you know, we've got, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the PACT Act, which is ginormous compared to what was before. I mean, it's like Desert Storm vets, Iraqi, Afghanistan vets, all of these conditions that the VA wasn't acknowledging in the past, they are now acknowledging, which brings more veterans to her because benefits are available for more illnesses than in the past.
Thanks, Sister Mom. So you gotta get that one.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I work in the building, in the registrar's office. My dad was having a crisis, and Lord knows a long tooth in crisis is beyond. Roxanne, she stayed over, dived in, got Dad an appointment. I got him in the VA in Murfreesboro that day. I'd made phone call after phone call, was at the end of my rope, and I'm like, please, and she went to work right there. Got him in, he stayed 2 weeks, came home, going through the same thing. So Nashville, I have to hold down a job as well as my siblings. And I went to Roxanne and I'm like, I need help. So she let mom bring dad in, use her laptop, do the teleconference and all that with Nashville doctors instead of me having to take off work or my brother and take him to Nashville. But it took a couple of weeks because the doctors, she was off on Thursday and Friday, and that was the only time the doctors could work with him. So that delayed him getting treatment, or if she had been here 5 days, Dad could have got treatment quicker. So it'd be a big help to Overton County.
Lindsay.
My name's Mac McLeod. I'm a veteran. Live here in Overton County. Know a bunch of you fine people here. It's been a pleasure. And if any of you have ever dealt with the VA, it's about as complicated as it can get. And it takes forever. And I put in a claim 3 years ago, I guess. Part of it was the PAC Act, which the lady said it has changed her job tremendously. And we worked and worked and worked, went and did everything the VA asked, and then we had to come back and do this, and I'd have to come ask Roxanne. I spent a lot of time